today we're trying something a little bit different. I'm going to be making a keytar for my Noisemarine. It's going to be approximately the same length as the Noisemarine guitar, and if you can see, what I've done is I have purchased some styrene strips. Now the dimensions that I've bought are right there. They are 0.4 by 4 millimeters. So what I intend to do now is start by cutting these into the keys that I need for the keytar. It's going to be quite an involved process. I will be cutting these keys into both broad and narrow keys to represent the black and white keys on a keyboard, meaning that the black keys will be slightly narrower than the white ones, so I'm going to have to be quite careful with this. But this is the main idea. So the first thing I'm going to do is start cutting out these keys, and if you do find that the angle that I've chosen for this video is to your liking, or you hate it, please let me know in the comments below. I think a fair amount of care should be taken to ensure that you are cutting perpendicular to the strip, and you are doing your best to get each one of them at about roughly the same width. So I am eyeballing it. The more detailed of you may want to actually measure this out, but I don't think I need to be that. I'm going to sort of eyeball them onto a base styrene strip, and to start looking at how they look. So I'm cutting out a 5mm length of styrene strip. I'm going to sort of wet the surface with a little bit of plastic glue and start laying these keys out, basically hanging over the edge, so that I can sort of cut them nice and smooth when I'm done. Then I won't have to worry about getting them perfectly aligned. So you'll see I wasn't happy with the width of some of these that I've cut out, so I've cut out 2 more. And what I have now is effectively created 2 octaves of white keys. If I'm not wrong, that's 14 white keys. And then I'll be able to cut out some slimmer black ones to go in between them. But once this sets, you'll see that I've basically successfully created a fair amount of texture and detail on those keys. I think this is sufficient detail. I probably won't be able to find out until I wash and dry brush it, but I think we are onto something here. So I'm going to count them off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I think I got 21. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut slightly smaller keys and put them in between, bearing in mind that I have to run this pattern in this, I have to run that pattern in this orientation, that way. Well, now, so I'm back. I've given this about an hour to just set, and so that all that plastic glue is evaporated. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to trim this down and sort of isolate just that keyboard so that I can start working with it and start to kit bash it with some of the bits that I have. Okay, so here I am, I'm back. I've cut out the keyboard, and I think I'm pretty happy with how many keys I have. What I'll be doing now is be taking more of my styrene card, and I'll be starting to build up the thickness of this keyboard and sort of details and build a framework around it so that I can start to turn it into something that I can stick on the back of some of my bits and create something a little bit more like a musical instrument. Main structure of my Keytar all done up. I'm going to move on to the next step by sticking on a whole bunch of chaosy bits, a lot of the gubbins that I have lying around, and hopefully this would actually give me a pretty nice effect. So here's the final result. I've done a little bit of cutting on the Keytar, and I've added some Chaos Raptor parts. That is, I believe, from a Daughters of Cain, and I'm pretty happy with what I have. Compared to the size of the Noisemarine guitar, even though it is about the same length, it is quite bulky, and unfortunately I'm about to make it even bulkier because what I've done is I've added a tiny magnet right there, and because this is going to be my Emperor's Children special weapon, I've magnetized special weapons from the Chaos Space Marine box. I think this is the Raptor box. Anyway, I've magnetized some special weapons, and what will happen now is that I have an interchangeable special weapon Keytar for my Emperor's Children. So that's the end of that little project. Thank you for following me throughout this journey. If you do have any comments, if you have any suggestions, please let me know below. Let me know if you like these new camera angles, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Goodbye.